What's up, family?
Hello, welcome back to all of our returning people, returning viewers.
Our 5 returning viewers.
Yes, can we make it 6?
Can we make it 6?
And welcome to all of you who are new. I'm Joselyn,
I am Buddy.
and we are just a married couple out here doing things together and trying to share what little bit of wisdom and lessons learned that we've experienced.
Amen.
So last time in our welcome back video, because, we have been MIA for a little bit, we talked a little bit about life had been lifing, and that was why we had not released videos in some time. So we just wanted to pull the thread a little bit on that.
On life is lifing.
On life is lifing, and the importance of staying connected.
Let me settle in then.
Well,
the importance of staying connected while life is lifing.
yes, and I think that's not just in when life is throwing you curveballs.
Mm-hmm.
It's also when life is throwing those big, slow-moving fastballs. You also have to stay connected to.
Gotcha.
In those
That makes
times.
sense. Okay, so where we starting?
So for us, what does lifing look like for us?
Well, are we speaking past lifing? The reason why we kind of slowed down doing videos, or is that you want to go there?
Well, we can.
So we're talking about losing jobs, kids maturing, becoming empty nesters,
Yeah.
parents.
Yeah. I think all of those are important because I think all of those are things that affect everyone, regardless of race, color, demographics,
Right.
financial status. All of that's
Right.
gonna be impactful or relevant, rather.
Okay.
To everybody.
Let's get it popping.
Let's get it
Where
popping.
we starting?
So I'm gonna start because one of the things that really was a chin check gut punch for me was losing my job.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, and it's interesting because where I was employed, we had been going through layoffs multiple times a year for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, I had told myself that it's not a matter of if it would happen, but when it would happen. And I still wasn't ready. Like I thought telling myself that was going to help me be ready.
Right.
But you're never ready for that. Well, maybe you are, but I wasn't. I was not ready for that. And it was an emotional roller coaster. So it was like, how do I navigate these feelings? This is the first time that I was not employed. That was not a decision of my own.
Right. So, well, let's peel the onion back. So how did you feel? Because I'm sure you went through different layers. So, the initial thought of possibly being laid off and then getting the call that you were laid off, walk us through that.
Yeah. So in our earnings call, there was a leak, and it was put out in press that we were going to be going through layoffs. So I was on a call. It was like a leader's call at our company, and they were like, hey, this was a leak, so we will be announcing layoffs, that they will happen. They will start around this time. I was doing a lot of what I thought was, and I still think it was some good work that was happening, things that we needed to put in place for our partners. But it was just like, I just had this feeling. It was like just an unsettled feeling.
Right.
And I never had that in any of the previous years that we had, that we knew that layoffs were coming. So, looking back, it's like I didn't sleep well.
That was God warning you. He was already telling you what was going to happen.
He was. And it's interesting because, I'm a woman of a certain age. So I thought that, not sleeping and waking up in the middle of the night was tied to some other stuff happening. And that was the case too. But God was absolutely saying, hey, This is about to go down.
So how did you feel when you got the call? How did you feel when you got the call?
Well, it's funny because, you know, your manager pings you and it's like, hey, you got a second, and you know what it is. And I was like, not really, but okay.
Right.
And in that moment, like, of course, my nose started tingling as he was telling me, but I was like, you know what? I felt like this was happening.
Right.
And I was like, I'm a woman of faith, and I feel like God already he's already written my story. So I'm just going to be faithful, and I'm going to trust in him.
Right.
That he knows he has me, and I'm going to be good. I said that. And I do believe that.
Mm-hmm.
But that was absolutely a moment that I had to say that to help give me strength to get through that. So I got off the phone with him, came upstairs.
And
crying. Said, hey, well, no, I didn't come upstairs crying. I came upstairs and I said, buddy. And then I started crying.
Right.
Yeah.
But your eyes are already red.
They were red. Yeah.
Just so y'all know, I was in the shower. So she walks into the shower, red eyes.
I didn't go in the shower. I didn't come all the way in the shower.
She walked in the bathroom. And, you know, so.
Yeah, he knew what was up.
I knew what was up.
Yeah. So I'm a bit of a workaholic. I can be. So it was very, very hard for me. And I've been working for ever since I was able to work, I've worked.
Right.
So it was very hard for, you know, it to be like, okay, no more work. Right. Your job now, stop everything that you're doing, and your job now is to find a job.
Well, once you talk to your manager and his manager, the conversation was more about, hey, we're not getting rid of the bottom tier, the low producers. It was more of a...
Oh, yeah. It wasn't. It wasn't.
So you got to let everybody know, like, they might...
Hey, I ain't no slouch. I work. I work hard. I'm no slouch. But yeah, it was not like, I've never been on like a PIP, a performance improvement plan. Never been that. I've always been a high performer at work. I've always been a go-to person at work. Like I said, I had just talked and had gotten approval for audit requirements for partners to have a certain certification at my company. So, I mean, I did work well. In fact, after I was supposed to not be doing my job, my manager reached out to me a couple times asking for guidance and asking for me to provide stuff because, you know, I felt like I did good work.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was an emotional roller coaster. I cried, and then I was pissed off. I was like, how dare they get rid of me? And then I was like, you know what? This is good. I need this because I've been working all of my life. And then I cry.
Right.
So it was an emotional roller coaster.
So here's the question. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you had the support at home that you needed while you were going through this difficult time?
Hats off to you, because you were phenomenal during all of this. You let me cry. You tried to get me to not work as much because it was very literal that I took finding a job
serious.
It's very serious. Thank you for, you know, saying, hey, we good. You know, I do know that you went in your office and you had some time to yourself.
I had to crunch the numbers a little bit.
You pull the calculator out.
Pull out my spreadsheet and say, okay, if I divide this and carry this over here, yeah, we'll be good for a little, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, that was good. And you know what was, you know, my parents are older. They're both retired. And it was also reassuring. Like my dad was like, this happened to me.
Right.
You know, so it happens.
It happens.
It happens.
It's the heartbreak.
Yeah, it was. And it was heartbreaking.
Right.
But I will say that this was also during the time that we had made the decision to read the Bible.
Right.
To commit to reading through the Bible in 12 months. And it gave me time to really do that more,
right.
to like really pour into that and really try to, you know, do a little bit more research and better understand. And I'm thankful, I received that notification in September. I'm thankful for those 9 months
Right.
of foundation and reading the Bible, because I had a lot that I could fall back on that helped out. But through that all, we kept our lines of communication open.
We did. And yes. And it was, I mean, you made it easy, because I equivalated that to me being released or being cut in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
That was heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
So it was weird, because I was like, hey, you got cut for the first time. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like once it happens one time,
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is,
Yeah.
because, it's like, okay, that's happened. Nobody else can have that effect on me anymore, because I've been through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, you made it easy for the most part,
Yeah.
just kind of locking in with you on, hey, put the computer up. We're not looking for jobs and creating resumes today. Go read a book. Go do the things that Joselyn likes to do.
Yeah, yeah. And the blessing in all of it, it's like, how they always talk about hindsight. I think last time I said, my mom used to talk about the crab in a barrel mentality. Another thing she would always say is like hindsight. It was like, okay, hindsight, yeah, I get it. And I got it as I grew
Right.
and became an adult. But it was just like, looking back, when I got laid off is when Mama Margaret got sick. My mom was in the hospital. I was Brandon's first year in college. Like, I was able to do things without the pressure or the stress of, hey, I got to send out this email, or I need to be on for this call. I was able to do those things and be there.
Right.
Like, it was so important when my mom was in the hospital to be able to leave home in time,
Right.
not worry about a conference call, but be there in time to be there when the doctors made their rounds, so I
Right.
could ask questions. Had I been working,
You wouldn't have been able
I
to
would
do
not have been able to be as flexible.
that. Right. See?
So,
Things happen for a reason.
hey, absolutely. God knows what he's doing.
Absolutely. So, good point. Segue is talking about your mom and being sick. That's another situation when life is lifing.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So my mom has been sick my entire life, I guess. I mean, she had her first open heart surgery when I was 12. She's since had another.
Right.
She has a nice little list of ailments, but she's one of the strongest women.
She is.
And she
Ruby.
Ruby, yes, and she's slick. That's
Shout
where I
out
get
to
my
Ruby.
mouth from.
I can see that.
Something you want to say?
I can see that. I can see that.
But
Ruby,
yeah.
Lil Ruby. I call her Lil Ruby when I need to.
Yeah.
And her dad loves it when I call you Lil Ruby.
It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, that was yeah.
So let's unpack, because we're talking about when life is life and how we stay connected. Ruby, my girl. So anytime we need to make something happen, it's all good. It's easy.
Yeah.
I was traveling. Was I traveling something during that time? For something?
No, you weren't. I don't think you were. I actually traveled. I remember when she was in the hospital and the doctors told me, oh yeah, she's going to be released. No need to worry. Go ahead and go to Vegas.
Right.
My parents were on board. You were on board. Needless to say, she was not released before I
Right,
left for Vegas, but she was released
Gotcha.
while I was
That's
there.
what happened.
Yeah. I was away in Vegas. Yeah. But I remember we were at ODU and my dad called. My mom's blood sugar had dropped. And she ended up going. She preferred that my dad allow emergency services take her to the hospital versus my dad taking her, because she did not want something to happen while he was driving. So that was her preference. But, it's funny because, we talk about communicating and staying connected. It's also important to make sure you communicate, especially when you have parents. I mean, as we get older, naturally, our parents are going to get older, to be able to communicate on their behalf. Because like my mom, there were things that like she was she had been taking one medicine since I was 12, and that was
wow.
several years ago, because we had told that she was diagnosed with something, and so she was taking this blood thinner because of that, and her tests showed that she did not have that ailment that she
Just
was
popping
taking.
pills, didn't even need it.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
and I mean, of course, maybe that pill helped for things. I don't think that she needed to take it long term, certainly not as long as she had been taking it. And I feel like it might have been the case that that medicine could very well have led to some of the issues
Right.
that she was having.
Right.
So, yeah. So don't be afraid. When you're communicating, it's not just about with your spouse, it's also making sure like your where you have influence,
Right.
that you are also advocating for your loved ones in those situations as well.
So what you're saying is it's important for, as our parents get older, to, what is it, medical power of attorney?
Which you recently
Right.
did with your mom.
Medical, financial, all that stuff. So if something happens, you can step right in and have the conversations with the doctors or.
Because I remember when your mom was sick, you didn't have medical power of attorney. So we were in a standstill on like, what can we do?
Right.
What is the list of all of her medication? Because no one would talk to you because you didn't have a medical power of attorney.
Right. Yeah. So that made the process a lot harder than it should have been. So learning from that experience, we went ahead and took care of that.
We were like, hey, I need you to sign this. I need you to sign this.
Right.
Yeah.
Mom set that up. No problem.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but both of them are doing well right now.
They are. Yep.
Yeah.
Both of them are raising hell.
Yeah, that's what they do. They do it well.
And then they threaten. My mom especially, like, don't make me call Stephanie.
Right.
Like, Lord.
My mom rolling right now. She making cakes and cooking food again.
Yeah, she trying to make me fluffy again. Not gonna allow that to happen.
Right.
So, okay, let's talk kids. Business with the kids. During the fall, we're like, okay, where are we next weekend?
Yeah, it's so Monday through Thursday is a blur. All I know is Thursday we pack. and I have a list of stuff we had to pack. But yeah, it's real.
Yeah. And by the time we're at the end of football season is when we really got our list good. It's like we're good.
We're good because the beginning of the season, I'm leaving stuff behind.
Correct.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. So, what do you think are I don't know, like little nuggets to share on how you stay connected? Because we both are working corporate jobs in corporate America. We have 2 kids that we follow around behind. We have parents that, both of our moms have experienced some illnesses. Like, what would you say to other people, whether they're a couple, single, whatever? What are like little nuggets to stay connected when all this other busyness is happening?
One thing we do, I'm saying we, but Joselyn does an amazing job every morning of crafting a message of the day. So that message of the day goes to so many people. So it goes to friends, family. It goes to everybody. We post it on social media. I post it on Instagram. But that has kind of that's been an easy way in, because what happened is, you'll send a message of the day and then you can have a conversation based off of that. Or, the text, it's always just good to get a message.
Yeah.
So, so staying connected that way, and meaning with the kids, with the parents, the way we stay connected is she'll say, hey, how's this sound? Doing the message of the day. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool, but maybe take that out, or I don't understand it. Help me understand what you're trying to say.
What verse is that coming from?
Yeah. So that's been easy for us to stay connected. with loved ones, friends, etc. So I can use that one thing as a nugget, if you will, and it may be just checking in,
Yeah.
check
Yeah.
in on your people.
Yeah. I know that you do a check-in. You have a couple of different text threads
Yeah.
with different groups of people that you do check-ins.
Do check-ins. How's your health? How's your wealth? How's your mental? What's going on with you? We try not to do it in a text message. You want to hear somebody's voice.
Yeah. Because anybody can.
Yeah, anybody can
funk.
fake the funk on the text. So you try to be intentional.
Yeah.
Try to be intentional. I used to have on my daily planner, I would have a check-in that I had to mark as done, and I would just pick somebody. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
And I would just check in, and I would write that person's name down that I checked in on them. So yeah, being intentional.
That's good. And I think for you and I, we do a really good job because it's nothing that if I don't hear you on a call or you don't hear that I'm on a call, since we both work from home,
Right.
We'll just go sit in the other's office.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I'm in her office more than she's in my office.
Because I'm usually on calls more frequently.
She works a little harder than I do at times. I work hard.
You do work hard. You do work hard.
I work hard, but yeah, I work smart.
Yeah. Yeah. So just little check-ins.
Little check-ins.
Intentionality.
Have to be intentional.
Yeah.
Date nights. So we put it on the calendar. During football season is hard. But the goal is to try new restaurants.
Yep.
Do a little something different. Because it's easy to stay in the house.
Especially when it's cold.
It's easy to order food, stay in the house, and watch Pop the Balloon.
It's either pop the balloon or some kind of athletic sports.
Yeah, it's easy. So for us, we have to, once again, be intentional about getting out the house and going to eat somewhere we've never been before. Our area is growing like crazy. So trying new restaurants, those type of things.
Yeah. So my next question to you is, and I think, sometimes I pause and I wonder, how are we doing with the kids?
Checking in?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's more than that. It's like, y'all laughed at me we've been having like this past week, we probably had a family FaceTime call.
Yes.
The last 2 weeks, multiple times a day.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It was. And I feel like y'all laughed at me because I was like, I'm enjoying these daily family FaceTime calls, and I got a bunch of ha-has.
Right.
But I wasn't the only one that's enjoying it.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Especially when your kids are busy and you got a collegiate athlete that was in the middle of his season.
Yeah.
You know? So, and for him, you said, are we doing a good job with the kids? I think during football season, it's easy to talk about football. What you're doing, what you're not doing.
How your body feels.
Those type of things. So,
are you injured or are you hurt?
Yeah. So I had to be intentional once again and say, man, how's class? How are your grades? I usually get a smooth,
calm.
Yeah, that's what I use.
And I'm like, what does that mean?
That's what we'll usually get back. But yeah, I think we do okay. Our grade might be better than what we think it is. But I think we do a fairly decent job of that, of checking in, just trying to, hey man, what's going on, bro? You've been pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Everything good up there?
Yeah. And we'll do the same thing with Kai. Like, hey, you haven't come by asking what we eating today. What's up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I do think that a testament to us doing okay, at least in that, is that they will call us.
Right.
Like if they have a question, they'll be like, hey, I'm FaceTiming.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty cool because we've made the comment to them at this point because they're both adults. It's like, hey, we can't tell you what to do. We can only offer suggestions.
That's it. But we come from, hey, when you go somewhere, you better text and say we made it. I've traveled and not text my mom to say I made it, and she'll text back and say, boy, it must be a lot of traffic.
Same. Ruby
what's
will
going
in a
on with the road?
minute.
The roads must be rough.
Yes.
So we were
Absolutely. You're not that grown.
we
That's
were
what I
groomed that way
Yeah.
to check in and follow up and be intentional. So, hopefully we're providing that same platform or foundation for our kids to do the same.
Yeah.
Kai's good about it, 100%.
Yeah.
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 Brandon's getting better.
Tremendously.
Yeah.
Tremendously. Okay, so we've not kept a secret from anybody. We've always said that we are Christian couple, we are believers, and we try to make sure that God stays center in our home, our lives, our relationships, and everything.
He is the foundation.
He is the foundation. Amen. The other part of that is making sure that we not just say it, but we live it.
Right.
And we set examples and encourage our kids to do the same.
Mm-hmm.
So help me understand or share how,
Right.
you do that.
I can speak for myself. I've always been a visual and I learn by listening. What my goal is for, I don't want to go out and say, hey, I'm a Christian. Hey, I'm a Christian, guys. I got Christian written over my shirt. I want people to see my life and how I live and my actions as being a Christian. I want people to say, hey man, I like that guy. Like he's got something, like he has a good spirit. That's typically how I like to. That's my way of me saying that someone, they have he got a good spirit. So my goal is to try to lead by example, by my actions. When we start reading the Bible and going through the Bible in 365 days, my goal was for my son to see me doing it. I wanted my son to come downstairs when he was on his way to high school. My goal was for him to see me at the table at 6 o'clock in the morning, going through reading, note taking, because I know that kids, those are the moments where they're like, oh, okay, I see, instead of someone, forcing and banging things over their head. So I guess to answer your question is I try to lead by example. Less talking, more action.
So how do you be that example in when things are hard? Like what do you, how do you show this is what you do? Because, the world is loud. Like we talked about that last time. World is loud. Social media is loud. And a lot of times something goes wrong and you can see it all over social media. You know what's going on with people's lives, right?
Right.
So how do you set the examples like, hey, go here versus here?
Well, once again, it's suggestions. You kind of, if I feel the need to pull one of my kids aside or a friend aside and say, hey, listen, I should be able to rebuke you without you being angered. That's what a true friend can do. Mm-hmm. So I should be able to pull you aside and just say, hey, listen, this is kind of how I would go about this, and it ain't always been sweet. I've had some, I've had to learn and bump my head and been through a lot of trials and tribulations, so they say to be wise, you have to apply the knowledge that you have. So it's only fair for me to take my life experiences and bumps and bruises and say, listen, bro, or whoever, this is what happened to me.
Right.
So I see the path that you're on, not saying it's a bad path, but here's what can happen on this path. Here's how to avoid some of these roadblocks on this path. Mm-hmm. This is what I wish someone would have said to me when I was 19. Or, hey, if I'm talking to someone that's a father and I feel like they need some uplift, it's like, hey, listen, we don't want you want your sons to see or know or hear. You know what I'm saying? So hey, let's tighten up a little bit.
So how does that conversation change for you? I mean, or maybe I should ask you, have you been in a situation where you are talking to someone who may not believe in God?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you then, because sometimes I feel like people like, hey, don't come at me with that Jesus stuff.
Right.
So and that's interesting to me because I feel like everybody, even if they don't want to say they believe, they have to have some type of belief.
Yeah,
You know?
a lot of people get butt hurt when it comes to that because they see religion and church. They've been hurt
By one of the two.
by one of the two. You know, so once again, I think when people see you go through things, you know, good, bad, especially bad when you go through difficult times, and you somehow hold it together because God is lifting you and He's holding you up. They want to know how you do that. You know, so then I think it's kind of like, listen, man, you know, God is my everything, and I don't know all the answers, and I'm struggling. But I know I can go to this verse and read this verse. I could go to this spiritual mentor and talk to him and let him speak some life into me. There's certain things that I can do to help me up out of this situation, help me up out of this, you know, this pitfall. If nothing else, that's where you start. Just being able to talk to someone that can kind of give you some uplift.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. And I think too, like, for me, it's been like sometimes I just say a prayer. And a lot of times, I mean, like I grew up, my parents at night beside the bed on their knees, they're saying their prayers.
right,
We do that, but that's not the only time that you can pray.
right,
I pray in my car
yeah, all the
while I'm
time.
driving.
Yeah,
You know, so it's like don't, you know, don't not pray because you feel like you are not in the right
right.
environment.
Don't limit yourself. Yeah,
Don't limit.
yeah.
Yeah.
And in regards to helping our kids with that, like right now, if I text Brandon before a game, I'd be like, hey man, pray and ask God for the speed, the quickness, the mindset, everything you need to go out there and play to the best of your ability that He's blessed you with. You want, and I thank God before his game, say, God, thank you for what you're going to do through him. You know, I want people to see your glory through him, you know, so just, you know, pouring that stuff into it, something's got to stick. Something's got to stick. So
One of my, I have a few proud moments, but one thing that I will say that that we all do, you, Kai, and myself, national anthem, we're all praying. All three of us are praying. We're playing over all of the players
right, both
on
sides.
the field. Yeah, we always pray then. And one of my prouder moments is seeing Brandon when he runs on the field. He runs into the end zone and he prays.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. So how would you, for our audience, what advice would you give to stay connected when life is lifing?
I think the first thing is it's very important to have, I was going to say a circle of people. That's great if you do. But I feel like there are people that are in your life for different reasons.
Right.
You know, we talked about the Hickses and the Witherspoons last video. But there are people that you go to for different things. So first and foremost, when life is life, I pray. I'm like, God, please help me get through whatever this is that's going on, or thank you, God, for granting me this, or
Right.
giving me this opportunity. That's usually I try to make him first.
Right.
But I think that we are human and we need connection. So it's also important that you have someone that you can go and be real with.
Right.
And that you can talk to. And someone, like you mentioned, that's not going to, that they know that if you are saying, hey, you need to get it together, that you're speaking from a place of love and that you're not trying to bash them
Right.
or talk down to them. That's first and foremost, in my opinion. So I think to answer your question, how to stay connected is you first have to have real relationship.
True.
And that doesn't mean you have to have, you don't have to have 100 friends.
Right.
Maybe you have 100 people that are real friends, but I am fortunate enough that I have a good roster of some female friends that I can go to, that I know that are praying for me.
Right.
I know that they clap for me and they cheer for me just as loud as you and my mom does and the kids do when I'm winning, and they are crying with me when things are bad, and they ready to go to battle if need to. You know,
That's I mean, that's a whole another episode of people really being happy for you, man, when you're doing well. There's so many haters out here.
it is.
There's so many people who don't want to see you do well. They want to see you struggle. But when you got a group of friends that's, everybody's supporting everybody. When you win, I win. And I want to see you win. I'm the first person there to celebrate.
Yeah.
Like, that's special.
Recently, my birthday, I got a text message, and I'm about to cry now. And a longtime friend sent a message and said, "Thank you for being you and seeing me." And I was like, man, first of all, I was so happy that she felt that.
Right.
And happy that she felt the conviction to tell me.
Right.
And then told me,
Right.
Right. And that she sees me as being like, that is like, that was like, yo,
right.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
That was a big, yeah.
Everybody wants to be seen, and that's something that people take for granted. People want to be seen. There's a lot of people walking around right now that feel unappreciated. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just, so that's dope.
Yeah. And it's not to be long-winded here, but we attend Elevation Church, and they're in the process of building a church permanent location locally in Raleigh. And one of the things that they said was that there are people that walk in, they might not even really want to go to church, they just want to see what's going on when they see the signs, but there are people that just want to be seen.
Right.
That matters.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, so to me, that's one of the things that I think that how you remain connected is that you are intentional and you really work on having a good, true, and real friendship.
Right.
With people.
So having
real
a team and having a prayer life.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a winning combination.
For me, it is.
That's a winning combination. No, I agree. It's a winning combination. You definitely want to have a squad, and everyone serves a different purpose. You might have someone that you might not talk to all the time.
Right.
But you could pick up the phone and they can have that conversation.
And you know what? Those are real relationships.
Yeah.
Like when you have somebody, like we grown. We might not be able to talk to, we are all out here doing life, raising kids, or trying to climb the corporate ladder or hold things together, looking after, all of us are doing stuff.
Right.
We might not have time to talk every day.
Right.
But what matters is the quality of the conversations when you do talk.
That matters.
That matters. Yep.
Yes, sir. Vance County crew. Plus some.
Yep.
Yeah, plus some.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dope, man. I wish everybody had that.
Yeah.
I wish there's a lot of people out here who don't have a crew that has that you can pick up the phone and be like, hey, and it's no questions asked.
Yeah. So my challenge to our people.
To our people was the challenge.
Who are you calling when you need someone?
Right.
Like outside of, yes, I want you to say, I'm going to pray to God first, but who is your person? Who do you lean on, So I challenge them to figure that person out.
I guess it depends on, is it somebody where you say, hey, go grab something violent and they just say, okay, I'll be there. Or, you know what I mean? It depends. It's 3 types of people that you need in your life.
And if you can find that person all in one, even better.
Right. Ride or die. All the above.
All of the above, for sure. For sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we're 20 years in on paper. So we've talked about...
You took all my youth.
We talk about life and staying connected. Over the years, what are some good practices, if you will, that you think we've done that have allowed us to see it through?
I will say that, like when you were asking that question, I just saw like a progression of growth for us. Because we both would, early on, mid to late 20s, we did not do a lot of listening to hear.
Oh, no.
We did a lot of listening to respond and to get our point across.
Right. Be right.
Yes. We have grown tremendously there. I think that we have learned to communicate with each other.
Right.
Meaning, I know what does not. I know things that like kind of like set you off.
Right.
So unless I want to go there, I don't approach you in that way. You know, I also think that we have done a lot of good work in listening to each other. When I say, hey, I don't like it when you do this.
Right.
Or you say, hey, when you say that, it makes me feel this way.
Right.
Another thing is we used to, if I say, well, I feel like if you didn't agree, that could have been an argument. Now we are able to say to each other, hey, this is how I'm feeling. So it's like, even though what you may have said, even though that wasn't your intention for it to feel that way, or I interpreted it the wrong way, or a way that you were not meaning it, we are able to talk through that.
Right.
That is important.
Yeah, that took a while for us to get to that point where we could just sit down and say, hey, listen.
Yeah.
When you start off by saying, I told you, hey, listen, I don't like that. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and then I think when in the beginning, it was like, okay, you don't like that. But it's like, okay, I told you, blah, blah, blah. Then, hey, I don't like that. So as we matured, it was kind of like, you know what? I need to think before I speak. So I'm not going to say that he doesn't like that. Or there's certain things that I would do that you didn't like at all.
And I'll look, I'll be like.
And I had to say, okay, let me make sure I go in here the right way, you know. And then we got to the point where it was like, okay, so we just had this little thing, this disagreement. How could I have said that different?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great practice that we that we started doing. Yeah. It's like, hey, how could I have said that differently so I did not get the response that I just got?
Right. But it took time.
Right. We're still learning. We
are. And I'm sure there are going to be things that I still say that rub you off, because there are things that you say that rubs me the wrong way. But it's just a point of knowing that I'm like, hey, he's not against me.
Right. We're on the same team.
We're on the same team.
Yeah.
And it's like when you go from that perspective, I think that it's easier.
Right.
Because sometimes I'm like, okay, what did I say to make him feel that way? So it's also like a process of me trying to figure out like how I could have said things different, or thinking better before I say something.
Right.
Like, how can I say this so that it's received in the way that I intend it to be?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, being strategic.
Yeah, because sometimes I might, you know.
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah.
It definitely happens. And just being able to communicate and say, listen, bro, that's not it. You off right now. I don't know what you need to do. You need to go do something, go downstairs and get yourself together.
I'm like, are you hungry?
Right. Listen, her and my mom know when I get hungry.
I'm like, let's go get him something to eat quick.
They'll look and say, what time is it? Oh yeah, let's go get him some food.
Yes. Yeah. But it was important for us to, like, we had to learn how to even approach those conversations.
Right.
And you have to be willing to shift, like you might have grown up with communicating a certain way. But if I've made the decision that you and I are going to be married and you are going to be my partner, then I need to make a decision that my house is going to be peaceful.
Right.
Like I'm not going to live in a bunch of chaos and, discord.
Right.
So we need to figure out how we going to make it work.
And we've been figuring it out.
We've been doing something.
We're doing all right.
Yeah.
20 in.
More than that, you've taken all of my adult years have been dedicated to you. Yeah.
I think, it's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
That's why we look so spry right now, because we treat each other well.
Okay. So, do you think that our connection, like the way we communicate with each other, do you think that it has changed, good or bad, in our recent life changes? Especially becoming empty nesters. It's just me and you. It's me and you.
I was about to hit it.
Ooh, baby.
I don't think they want to hear my tone, though. How did it change? How did our connection change? So when you have kids, man, you spend a lot of time focusing on your kids, and you don't focus on your partners as much. I think we did a pretty good job of not overshifting, but once we became empty nesters, I think that we had kind of laid the foundation already. So it was an easy transition. When people ask me, are you empty nester? How you like it? I love it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I like, it's awesome to me because this is what we've done for the most part. We spent a lot of time together. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are like, okay, if Buddy's going, Jocelyn will be there. They're always together. And we've done a real good job of that. We actually like each other.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, what changed? I don't think a lot had to change, but I think we locked in even more to the point where it's like we're more important to us than other things.
Valid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that it was different for us. It's almost like where we are now in our marriage is where a lot of people are at the beginning of their marriage, because we had Kai before we got married.
Right.
So married life we didn't have time alone.
Yeah, we didn't have those 2 or 3 years, just us two traveling,
right,
doing all that good stuff.
No, it wasn't like something we wanted to get back to. It was like, this is a new for us.
Right.
But I think we've been very intentional about how we spend time with each other. A lot of time making sure that we are comfortable with what we're doing together.
Right.
We consult with the other when we're doing stuff. And some people might be like, we do too much together, but it's working for us.
Yeah, it works for us.
Yeah, it works for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So nice. So yeah, that's a good question, but I think we locked in and we doubled down on us.
We did.
We doubled down on us, and we deal with outside stuff together as a unit, and but we don't allow it to affect us.
Mm-hmm. I remember years back, we went to Tamiko and Derek about something. They made a point, and it's something that has stayed with us years later, probably 15 years later. It's like, you don't always look at the person. It's oftentimes the spirit.
Yes.
So, hey, I'm not gonna.
Those haters, a lot of times it's not the person, it's the spirit. The spirit of jealousy is
or whatever.
Serious, or whatever the spirit is.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. I am going to use my computer because I want to ask a couple questions. I want to make sure that I ask as I want the question to come out. Okay. What was the funniest life is lifing moment we had recently?
I don't know. It's hard to say because running upstairs to tell you to get up when the house was flooding. What did I say?
You said, get up now. I was like, what? He was like, I need you to get up now. And I was like, why is he talking to me like this? I'm only sleeping.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
That was, but it was not funny. But you know what was funny is the fact that I got like 2 towels to try to get up the water.
She got 2 towels. The basement is raining. It's a shower in the basement. And she came downstairs with 2 little towels. Like, I was like, she doesn't understand the severity of this.
I was going to get up the water. I was going to try to save the floors. Okay.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was pretty good. Okay. What would you tell your younger married self about going through the seasons of life?
I would tell myself to remember it's always a process. And your process is going to be different than other people's process. But most importantly, trust the process.
That's why you have on that shirt.
See what I'm talking about? Trust the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I would say, I remember listening, it was radio station years ago, and they talked about the good days will always outweigh the bad days. And it's like you have to make a decision. Like we made the decision to marry each other. And even though there will be times that things are hard, that if we do it together, it'll be okay.
Right.
So it's just the good outweighs.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good will outweigh the bad. Yeah. What advice would you give couples who feel like their life is lifing, shifting, or overwhelming them?
The first thing I would say is make sure you and your spouse are locked in. Lock in with your spouse to the point where it's like, hey, listen, this will be over soon.
Mm-hmm.
But when this is over, we got to make sure we make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So lock in with your partner, number one, first and foremost.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think that it goes back to what we were talking about before is like, hey, your partner is on the same team as you.
Right.
Like they shouldn't be out to get you. It's
Right.
like y'all are in it together. And so it's like, how can we tackle this together? It's not me against you. It's us against them.
Yeah.
Yeah. One last question. What is one practical thing couples can do today to reconnect, like to get a better connection?
Start a podcast. Listen, you got to go through a lot of stuff. You got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to sit down and talk through some stuff and say, hey, man, does this make sense?
Is that your final answer?
Nah. So what practical, what would I say?
What's one practical thing that you would tell another couple they can do right now to reconnect?
I would say, and I did this a couple times, before you go to bed, I got on Gemini and I said, what is 5 questions I can ask my wife right now while we're laying in the bed about to go to sleep? And the questions were crazy.
Yeah, and
they were real random.
Yeah.
And I would ask the question and she would be like, oh, that's an interesting question. She would answer the question, but it was cool. It was super cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't like overly serious, but I, just something like that. Just take a few minutes just to engage.
Yeah. I was going to say that. Random moment.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing better than a random moment that I might be in a hurry to do something and you might stop me and I'm like, I need to go and do this. And you just give me a hug. Like it's like we like you center.
I'm a professional hugger.
You do okay.
Yeah.
You do okay. Yeah. So that would be my advice. Like take time.
Take time.
Take time.
Nice hug.
Yep. So I think I speak for us both when I say that I hope that you found some little nuggets.
Hopefully.
This, yeah.
Hopefully some nuggets. I mean, we're just talking. We in here having a conversation. Hopefully some of this helps somebody.
Yeah. I hope it make you laugh, make you reflect.
Right.
Yeah.
Make you reflect. We'll keep rolling. content, we'll keep it coming and different topics and give you guys something to think about. And once again, if you have some Q&A or some questions or things that you would like for us to discuss, please feel free.
Yes.
Drop them in the comments.
Yes, please like, subscribe, comment.
All that good stuff.
Yes, yes.
It helps the algorithm.
Yes. Until next time.
Have a good one.